All right. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. This is our Power Girls Monthly Education event. We do this every month. We have a special guest come in, and they're a coach, a trainer, a life coach, something that is here to help you with your business or with your life. And right now, in these times that we're having with everything going on with NAR, with the interest rate, with the election year, like it's very easy to get really, caught up in that and into the negativity. And our guest today is a pro at this conversation, and I think she just got lost. She's not on here anymore. Hold on. Okay, well, I'm still letting people in, and we just lost our guest speaker, so bear with me.
Hey guys.
Hi, Jasmine, you made it. Yay. We lost our speaker.
Uh-oh. I don't know
Yeah,
why I was having so much trouble trying to get on.
we all did.
I'm trying to figure out how to put this on my computer. This is so weird. It usually asks me. Let me see. Meetings. Nope.
Penny is here.
Oh, there she is. Okay, awesome. Well, she just brought to my attention that the Facebook group says 4 and everything else says 3. So we're going to record it, and I will make sure that I get that recording to everybody that comes at 4. So I don't know how that happened and how nobody noticed it. It's 3. Um, all right. So, like I was saying, Penny Pereboom is our guest speaker today. She is a coach. She's been a real estate agent for since 2012. She is a good friend of mine, and she's going to talk to us today about staying, staying. What's the title? In turbulent times.
Resilient.
Resilient. Thank you. Thank you, Menopause. Staying resilient in turbulent times. So, Penny Peerboom, thank you so much for being our guest speaker today. And I will just allow you to take the screen.
Thank you, Dawn, and thanks for having me. I'm going to share can I share my screen?
Yes, you can. There you go.
Okay.
Awesome.
All righty. Well, thanks for having me. I figured this was an appropriate topic since we are going through some challenges lately. I want to just start out, because I always forget to do this at the end, by telling you about my coaching programs. I am releasing 2 programs coming up in September. The Success Blueprint for Realtors. It kind of goes through all the basics, like some of us might need to go back to the basics, and mostly for realtors that are new to Epic, just to kind of a good refresher. And then in third quarter in October, I'm releasing a course called Dreamweaver. And though there's more information about that on my website, I just want to mention that. And I also offer group coaching, one-on-one coaching, and public speaking. And coming soon in October, I'm launching a community site, a membership site called Rise Up. So to learn all about the programs that I offer and about the membership site, and to sign up to join the wait list so you'll be the first to know, go to pennypereboomcoaching.com. You can get all that information. So today's topic, let me move my stuff around here on top of my notes. Staying resilient during tough economic times. So we all know that the real estate market has become more challenging. I don't have to tell you this. Market challenges include rising interest rates, low inventory, affordability issues. Then we've got industry challenges, the NAR settlement, competition from new agents, because all those agents that joined when we were in good economic times, they're still around. And all these third-party marketers, I get calls from these people every day just about, that are out there lead generating for us and selling us those leads. And so all this competition has got us a little bit stressed out, to say the least. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling a little stressed out, and I'm having to figure out how to navigate and how to stay resilient. And so I think I was working late, and I thought about this little ant. Remember this song, Just What Makes That Little Old Ant Think He'll Move That Rubber Tree Plant? Everyone knows an ant can't. I just thought of this. I'm like, oh, because that's all you hear. You got to have high hopes. You got to be positive. You got to be resilient. Oh, you hear this, and it's like, I'm having a little difficulty, being positive and having high hopes in this environment. So I thought of high hopes as, to me, can you see this? I'm going to leave it right here. To me, high hopes is like the lighthouse, right? There's a lighthouse, and it's guiding us, right? And so your high hopes are that light, like that lighthouse guiding you through the dark. But it's the resilience that you generate. And resilience isn't something that you have or don't have. It's something that you generate. It's something that you build. So you don't have to say, oh, well, I'm just not the resilient type. It's something that you get to work on. And so the resilience that you generate becomes the energy that powers that light, because without the energy and without the light, that lighthouse is worthless. It's just, it's just doing nothing, right? But with the light, it illuminates your path through the fiercest storms and keeps you moving towards the shore of your dreams. So, anybody been watching the Olympics? Or, well, it's kind of over now, but if you've been watching the Olympics, you might have heard of this term called the twisties. And it kind of like, I thought of this analogy to the twisties with what's going on right now. In gymnastics, okay, here's our little Simone Biles. In gymnastics, the twisties are like a really terrifying experience where an athlete loses their sense of direct space and direction while performing a routine. Imagine they're spinning through the air, and then suddenly they have no idea where they are in relation to the ground. They don't know which way is up or down, and they can't rely on any of their usual instincts to land safely. So for gymnasts, this can be pretty dangerous and also mentally paralyzing. Well, in real estate, anybody know Michelle Monostra? I found this cute little graphic. She's in Panama City, Florida. So in real estate, we're experiencing kind of a similar disorientation, right? In real estate, we're unsure which direction to go next. Should we focus on buyers who are struggling with higher interest rates? Should we double down on finding inventory when there's hardly any available? And how do we stand out in a market that's flooded with new agents and aggressive marketers selling us leads? Moreover, just as the twisties disrupt a gymnast's muscle memory, we're experiencing disruptions in our professional routines, right? The systems and the models and the processes that once worked so well are no longer producing the same results, and we're having to find new systems and processes. This can leave us questioning our next steps and doubting our abilities, much like a gymnast who suddenly can't rely on their muscle memory to perform. Another thing, the influx of new agents and the growing reliance on third-party marketers for lead generation have intensified competition and increased the pressure on realtors. This situation kind of creates a mental block, right? We suddenly have this fear of failure, a sense of inadequacy, and paralysis of decision-making, similar to what the gymnasts feel when the twisties prevent them from performing skills they've mastered. So, and just as gymnasts have a heightened risk of injury due to their disorientation, realtors in a tough market have an increased risk of financial loss, right? We don't want to invest in the things that we were investing in because we're, maybe it's no longer going to work, and we're very reluctant to put our money into things for fear of financial loss. Some of us may misjudge the market, make poor investment decisions, or fail to close leads, and that can lead to significant financial setbacks, just like a gymnast might hesitate to perform a difficult move. And the twisties can strike suddenly, comes on suddenly, and much like, I know the NAR had been going on for a while, but it suddenly fell in our laps this August, and now we're having to shift. Unexpected drops in buyer demand. Even COVID, who would have thought COVID? These are unexpected shifts in the marketplace. These sudden changes can disrupt business plans and require our immediate attention. We suddenly have to change our dialogues, learn new scripts, learn new forms. And so it takes some mental strength. And this adds to the stress and difficulty of maintaining a successful practice. So let's take a look at what actually happened to Simone Biles. I have a little video here of the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. So after that incident, Simone decided what was best for her mental health was to leave, and she basically quit. But it was more of a pause, and now she's being applauded for having the guts. That takes a lot of guts to actually leave the Olympics and leave your team, but it was necessary. So I am by no means saying that we're going to leave the real estate industry. We don't have that luxury. She had that luxury. We're not going to leave our real estate practices. Instead, resilience is taking a pause and regrouping. We need to regain our sense of direction and find new ways to navigate all this unpredictable landscape. By taking a step back to realign, we can clear our minds, strategize, and move forward with renewed focus and confidence. And I'm not saying, take it lying down, but while we're going through this, instead of spending the energy stressing and worrying and feeling really horrible, instead use that energy to figure out what your next best step is going to be. So the twisties for us is it looks like this. I don't know about you guys, but I feel this way sometimes right now. Everything needs to change. I had this brilliant idea, not brilliant idea. It was just this idea that I was going to have a YouTube channel, and I was going to focus on buyers. Now I'm not so sure. I want to focus on buyers, not exclusively anyway. And so anyway, it's taking a step back and trying to figure out where is it we are going to put our energy, and really doubling down, because the number one cure for all our challenges is to have a really robust pipeline. Wouldn't you say? Most of our problems can be solved by having more clients. Last year, I had 5 transactions fall apart. Five, which was significant. And I thought, I should have had more in the pipeline. Had I had double the amount in the pipeline, those 5 would not have really affected me as badly as they did. So it's time to double down. So resilience really isn't just about bouncing back. It's about navigating these twisties effectively. Resilience involves recalibrating towards action and progress, even when you're feeling off balance and out of sorts. It's about transforming that disorientation of these challenging times into a focused strategy that allows you to move forward with confidence. So when I think about resilience, it's time to rest, take a little bit of rest, breathe, regain your confidence, regain your courage, resolve to move forward in a positive direction. You might have to realign and just, your business plan, and renew your mindset. It's a deliberate challenge. I'm sorry. It involves a deliberate response to challenges and adversity, and it's about making the conscious decision to confront difficulties head on, rather than being just passive. Like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. A lot of us are very optimistic. Like, it'll all work out. And that's great. But we still have to be prepared, right? We still have to make tweaks and changes. And so resilience requires proactive behavior. It's about seeking out resources, whether it's professional help, such as coaching or therapy, or developing new skills that help you adapt to changing circumstances. It also involves building a strong support network and surrounding yourself with people who can offer guidance, encouragement, and different perspectives. In essence, resilience is about taking control of your response to the challenges so that those twisties look more, these twisties look more like this. A plan for how you're going to work on your market expertise, a plan for how you're going to communicate with clients and continue to build relationships, a plan for your marketing and prospecting, because that has changed. All these landscapes has changed. A plan for financial management, a plan for systems and leverage. And so it's not all twisted in your head, but you have a clear path. So resilience means acknowledging, right? And I'm telling you all this and you're just going, oh, you just made me even more stressed out than I already am, right? I hope I haven't. But, you know, Simone Biles took a break, and that's what I'm encouraging y'all to do. Take a little bit of a break, a little bit of a pause, and regain that strength and confidence. And some of the ways you're going to do that is to reflect. Reflect on what you've been doing and how it's been working. Reflect on the good things that you've done. Reflect on your strengths. So far, so many times we beat ourselves up with what we did wrong. Oh, those 5. Like, I can't tell you how I repeat over and over in my head about those 5 transactions I lost. No, how about instead we focus on, moving forward and what we're going to do differently this time. So taking forward action. And then the support piece, that's so important, to seek support. And Dawn mentioned something awesome one time when I was going through my tough times. And she said, it's okay to vent up though, vent up. She said, vent to people that are stronger than you maybe, or have been through something, or, not to your peeps, right? Not to the people in your office, or to, the people that you mentor, and, the people in your downline. Those aren't the people to really vent to, but you need to vent sometimes. Find someone you can trust that's going to listen objectively and offer you guidance and support, but you're not going to bring them down with you. Okay, that's the last thing we want to do. Start focusing on what you can control instead of what you can't control. I mean, we can't control, any of this, or hardly any of this, but we can control our response to it. We can control our communication. When we're at a networking group and someone says, "How's the market?" and we're like, "Oh." No, I mean, that's not the right conversation. Your relationship starts, the moment you meet someone, whether they're a client or not. So you don't want to be curmudgeon about what's going on, even though that's how you feel. Focus on your growth. Like, what, I know when I'm doing something that's growth minded, it kind of takes my mind off of what's going on. Listening to podcasts, Mel Robbins is one of my favorites, Brendan Burchard. Just anything growth oriented is going to help you get out of that rut. Pause. I've talked about the pause a lot. Just breathing. Just learning to breathe, take it in. I was talking to a realtor the other day from another brokerage, and we were talking about someone she had met said she does more before 8 a.m. than most people do in a day, and there has been so much, applause to like these people that can do all this, that are so overproductive and whatnot, and I said to her, I've started when I wake up in the morning now, I wake up early enough to sit out on my back porch before the sun rises and watch the sunrise and do nothing. Like I'm out there with my Bible study, I'm out there with my journal, but really a lot of times just got my cup of coffee and just me and God, and so that, it's a beautiful part of my day, and I've become addicted to that part. Now I can hear the birds. The other day I got up before the birds, it was great. So take that pause wherever you can. And then see all these struggles as, focus on it as feedback, not failure. There's no such thing as failure. It's feedback. Anytime anything does not go as planned, it's not that you've failed. It's that there was a better way, so focus on the feedback. And I want to show you now notice the difference. This is Simone Biles' latest performance at the 2024 Olympics.
It is Simone.
So that's what taking a pause can do, and that's what you have to learn. When times are tough, pause, reflect, and think about your next step forward. Don't let all this drama get to you. Start thinking about what you can do moving forward. Then I always say, Penny's pity parties, they're 90 seconds or less. Have your pity party and get over it. There's a value in releasing all that negative energy and then coming up with a plan of how you're going to address all these challenges moving forward. So that's it. I thought it would take me a lot longer, so I hope I didn't talk too fast. I wanted to have some room left for all of you guys, because I know this is a really positive bunch, and I want to hear something positive you're doing in light of all the challenges. If your business is not where you want it to be, or your business doesn't look like it did a year ago or 2 years ago, or your bank account doesn't look quite the way you want it, what are some of the things you're doing to move forward and get past it, and to not let it cloud your productivity and cloud your happiness, and make you, stress you out? Does anybody have anything to share that they're doing? Any one of these things?
I'll share, Penny, because that's you're talking my talk. But it's not easy all the time. But I have a ritual that I do every morning, and it's called me time, just like you talked about. And I re-engage with my plan. I have a plan that I visit. It's what I teach in my Freedom to Flourish stuff. And I try to ground myself to that plan every single morning, so that throughout the day, when life happens and all of these things happen, I can deal with them, but I don't just lose myself in what's going on. I'm able to really pull myself back to that space where, well, I have a plan. It's going to work out. It's going to be up and down and up and down. But in the end, there's a pot of gold at the end of my roadmap that I know I'm going to reach. And I feel like just being grounded and knowing that allows you to have those side roads, along the way. So my me time that I have every morning, I don't care what's going on. I get up 30 minutes to an hour earlier than I have to start my workday so that I can have that. So,
Awesome. Revisiting your goals and getting grounded. I love that.
So Dawn, I do something a little similar to yours, but I've got my 5-year dreams. And so I literally have listed out, it takes a whole sheet of paper, but I have vision that I've already met these. So I've already achieved these. I am happy and grateful now that I weigh 145 pounds and I feel good in my skin and my clothes. I mean, so I have all of these where I've already a vision forward. But then I also take 2 or 3 of these that are in my plan, and I have actionable steps that I'm going to do this day. So what actions, what are the steps that I'm going to do today that get me closer to this, or to get me closer to closing X number of transactions? So I have 2 or 3 of these action steps that I do, because this is a long-term goal. These are long-term plans. This is not going to happen tomorrow, but each day I'm moving a little bit closer to achieving all of those. And then, I mean, let's face it, it's tough right now, and it's easy to kind of get frustrated, get all sorts of things derailed. And so I just, when I see that happening, I stop myself and I ask myself, is this serving me to get me towards my dreams? And if it
Love
is,
that, Lisa.
okay, then we keep going. If it's not, okay, we just release it. Is this serving me to achieve my action steps, or serve me to achieving my dreams? And if it's not, then I've got to let it go. And that's harder some days than others, but you can't keep holding on to that.
I agree. And you know what? Like, it's the thought, right? Like, it's us choosing what we're thinking about. That's all it is. It's a shift that we have to first recognize where we are in that train of thought and that state of mind. Penny, like what you were sharing, her state of mind was clearly not where she needed it to be for that first video. But then you could see her confidence and everything. Her state of mind was where it needed to be. So, like, take stock of our state of mind throughout the day. I have to do it regularly. And sometimes I have to put on an Audible book. I have to literally get out of my head and into a story or something to clear that thought path.
I want to mention too, I said 2 contradictory things, right? I said, keep going and focus and recommit yourself to the plan. And I said, pause, right? Well, how do we pause and keep going, right? The trick is to pause from things that are not serving you, to take a pause from the things, and one of them being social media. There is so much noise out there with all this, and I think that that's what's driving us crazy. So there's so much misinformation, even the media. That's what really gets me enraged, is when the media has it wrong, and then your clients are, and so taking a pause from all that and focusing on this is how I'm going to answer that. This is how, and focusing on, like, wow, what if your client came to you and said, I heard this? What is, focusing on your response instead of focusing on, like, what are we going to do about this media? Like, just focus on what you're going to do differently now and how you're going to communicate. So when I say take a pause, like, and then I say, focus on your business, take a pause from all the garbage floating around,
And that's easier said than done for some of us, especially if we have spouses. Like Jess and I were having this conversation earlier, and because like spouses aren't always the most encouraging, positive positive thing for us. And so I have to literally like have a bubble around me sometimes, and like some of the things that is said to me, I have to let it bounce off the bubble. I'm like, oh wait, he's talking crap. I'm gonna put my bubble up and I'm gonna let it bounce off. And I just, sure, yeah. Like I just do that, but I just let it go. Sometimes we just need to let the stuff go. Just because somebody says something these days doesn't mean, one, it doesn't mean that it's true. And 2, it doesn't mean that you have to internalize it. Like you get to choose what you internalize and what you don't. So put your bubble on, let it go, and get back on track, like Penny said, with your goals and all that. So anyway, go Penny. Anyone else like to share? I would love to hear
I
more.
would. I'll share. This is Christy DeWolf.
And then
It's
Charlotte.
good to see you. Good to
Hi,
see you,
Christy.
Penny. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Hi.
For the past couple of years, I have been buying and flipping houses. and there have been leased out. So I am getting myself remotivated and refamiliarizing myself with the real estate to get busy to start working with seller and buyers. So, and so much has happened in the last 2 years that I feel like I'm a brand new agent. Having to refamiliarize
Like
with
riding a
everybody.
bike.
Pardon me?
It's like riding a bike.
Oh, yeah.
It'll all come to you.
Okay. Well, I just want to say it was good to see you and to let everybody know that I've been flipping houses for the last few years. So I'm ready to get back, getting my feet wet back into the real estate world.
Awesome. Thanks,
Awesome.
Christy. All right,
Mhm.
Charlotte was next. Charlotte wanted to share. And it's nice to see you too, Christy, on the call. So thank you
Yeah.
so much for showing up.
Thanks for coming.
All right.
Well,
Charlotte.
hi, my name is Charlotte, and I'm a broker associate with the amazing company Epic. Somewhat thanks to Dawn for that, but it has helped me to leave the environment that I was in. It wasn't so much the environment, it was how I was perceiving it. And I won't tell you the story, but it's just, I got to a point with my previous company. It's like, I'm not a good fit here, but the market was bad and I didn't want to jump. And so I'm really grateful for Epic because I can relax. I'm not doing a lot of real estate business right now, but I have been gifted with something really incredible and I just want to share it with you. I have given up finding out what's going on with Jennifer Lopez. It's been really hard, and a few other people. And just in case you want to know, she filed for divorce today.
What?
But,
No, sorry, did I say that out loud?
but what happens is my VA posts on social media for me. And then I go in and read it and stuff. But like I'll go in and then like I divert because it's the whole thing, like I want to have more people responding. I'm not getting any leads. Rant, rant, rant. So I go down that path. And so I choose diversion. And what's underneath it is fear. It's the same as procrastination. When I see myself procrastinating, like with Lofty, it's like underneath it all is I'm afraid. I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to pick it back up. So, and I love this group because I've always been able to tell the truth with the women in this that I know in this group. So I'm assuming that the women that are here are the same thing, but I have to address that because it's an underlying kind of malaise underneath my life. But I've had some really cool stuff happen. I don't want to take up too much time, but my other profession, I've been an aerobic instructor about as long as I've been a realtor. And so I've always had two jobs, but one is more play. But so I quit doing that in 2016 and got asked to pick it up again. So I'm teaching Zumba Gold, a free weight class, and a chair aerobic class at the senior center. I'm getting $40 an hour, not bad for San Antonio, 45-minute class. These people love me. They fill the class up. I make jokes all the time. It's like I'm making a huge difference in this little population. And it's such a gift, because I can, if I go down, I can look, okay, right now in this moment, life is pretty good. I just want more money. So it's that simple. I have my health. I'm pretty joyful. I have a relationship with God. I am okay, but my head wants to tell me that I'm not. So that's about all I have, but thank you for listening. And thank you, Penny. It was a really good slide presentation. I liked it very, very much. And thank you, Dawn, for bringing her.
Awesome.
And my cat here too.
And I just want to say something about what you just said, Charlotte, like money. We all want more money. But when we focus on the fact that we want more money and we don't have enough money coming in, and especially if you're in scarcity and like you really don't have enough money to pay the bills, like you literally, and I've lived my entire life like this, so I am talking from experience, you forget the power that you have with your mind to go and create the things that will bring you more money. you get stuck in this vicious cycle over here. I call it living below the line. And when you live below the line and you're in that scarcity, you won't be able to be creative, because all of us as real estate agents, we have a creative job. We are creators. Whether you like it or not, you are a public figure, you are a creator, and you create your future. And so it's really important to figure out how to, even if it's just temporarily, get yourself out of that negative scarcity mode and over above the line into creativity mode. So you could create a landing page or something that's going to go bring you some business. So, but that scarcity mindset and survival mode, it's like a vicious loop that you have to stop and recognize that you're in it. Our minds are really crazy that we can get into that and not get ourselves out. So, and the reality is you're probably doing just fine. You might not be making as much money as you want to, but you're here. You're alive. You're not living in your car. I hope none of you are living in your car. If you are, call me. Like, let's figure that out. But I don't think that this is a group that has that going on. We're just all a little bit, worried about what's going on right now. So back to you, Penny.
Well, I out of all those strategies, I think the one that resonates with me the most, I don't know about you guys, is the support network, is like being around other people. And energy, I've learned this before, that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. So this is why it's so important to surround yourself by positive people that are also working to make their lives better. And right now that's been a little hard, because we're all going, oh my gosh, I haven't had any showings on my listing, and oh my gosh, my seller this, and oh my God, we're all, and we have to turn that conversation around and go, you know what? We're doing a hell of a job. We do weekly, whatever it is, focusing on what we are doing well and what is going well, and just accepting the fact that, this too shall pass, right? This too shall pass. But if we, I think we're all venting a little bit to each other, and then that's perfectly fine. Like, vent and then and then turn it right away. Turn it, like, catch yourself saying that negative thought, and then saying, you know what, I've done, I did the best I could, or, I'm just going to go out and get some more listings, whatever it is, like, catch yourself in that moment, because you don't want to be the one spreading the negative energy to the people around you, and it's hard. It's hard. No one's saying it's not, like, a difficult time for some of us. But I remember being at an economist was speaking at one of the builders, one of the model homes, builder's model home, and he was saying that it's not that the market is down, it's that it's actually stable and normal. It's just that we experienced such a crazy market, 2 years ago, that actually it's pretty stable right now. Actually, and he said, the economic factors are jobs and migration to Texas, in Texas anyway. I don't know about it anywhere else. And he said, we're right where we need to be. So this may be our new normal. So what are we going to do? Like, we can't gripe about it anymore. We got to come up with a strategy for, like, okay, this is the deal. I'm going to have twice as many leads in my pipeline to do the same amount of business I once did.
And another thing that you can do is pull up your MLS and count how many closings have happened in the past 7 days or 30 days or whatever. And just reset your mind that deals are still happening. Like, they're still going on. So if you get caught up in what everybody's saying, though, like Penny said, like, if pay attention to the rooms that you're sitting in and who you're talking to. Alana. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, ladies. How are
Hi.
you? Sorry, I'm driving. So, I've really been kind of doing two things. So, one, I have been allowing myself to accept and decline business from clients that I think would be overly difficult to work with in a space where like I'm protecting my mental health, right? So that's one thing I'm doing. And then another thing that I'm really leaning into is I know that we're not all with Epic, but for us of that are with Epic, we are the modern agents with so many prospecting tools. We've got click offers, we've got redo. Like I'm teaching my mentees to really lean into those two benefits and then use them simultaneously to go after for sale by owners, expireds, withdrawals, canceled, to show them that we do business differently. And it's actually gotten like rejuvenated people and really given people like a new way of like kind of a fun way to do business. And I relate it, the redo to unselling with the twins on HGTV. I'm like, it's so fun. Like you can go out to people and be like, hey, basically, do you want your own, version of an HGTV show? So I think it's finding the light and ways that you can be different in a really challenging and changing market that can also keep your spirits uplifted and, create a lot of positivity and new business opportunities in the same space. And as far as, letting clients that I don't feel are compatible to work with me necessarily, I've been in the business 10 years and I just feel like anytime that I've forced relationships, it's always been overly challenging. And I feel it has always kept doors that should have been open for me closed until those doors closed in those challenging situations and then new doors open. So it recently just happened with one. I got, I had 3 buyer broker presentations last week, 2 of them signed. And actually the people, I have their home listed on the market. I brought them 4 offers, $15,000 over ask, first weekend on the market. They decided they didn't want to sign the buyer broker agreement. And I said, I'm sorry. I just, that's part of my business practice and I'm not willing to risk my business because you don't want to sign it. And they said, well, another agent didn't mention it to us. I said, well, you're welcome to do whatever you want. I respect your decision, but I would really question their professionalism if they didn't mention it to you. I said, because as of today, you have to legally have that document signed. So, but while it was a little frustrating and disheartening at the same time, I came to peace with it because I know better doors are going to open because that one, if that makes sense.
I love that. I've been saying that, when we get to pick and choose who we work with, then that to me is success. I'm trying to find a dentist with our new dental plan. And, there's dentists that are no longer accepting new clients, right? There's like, like, wouldn't you like to be your pipeline so full that you're not accepting new clients? You have all you can handle. And that's, so I think if we're focusing on building our pipeline with people that value us, and if we're communicating our value, then we can stand up to people and go, oh yeah, it's like, what, they can make a choice, they can go unrepresented, but if somebody wants a professional like yourself, there's a fee for that.
Well, and that's what I say when I'm on listing presentations too. I say, I'm like, hey, we're kind of interviewing each other and you'll decide to work with me or, we'll decide to work together, or I might not decide to work with you. And any of those is fine. And as soon as I say that I may choose not to work with them, they instantly change like, wait, what? You may not want to work with me. So, yeah. It works. And,
It's
protecting our
confident.
mental health is really important, especially now. So
A lot of that,
God.
Lana, like what you're saying, that's confidence. And people can smell your confidence like immediately when you walk in the door. It's so important for us as agents to be confident in those new forms, in our value, and to not be afraid to walk away from the business. And then you know, it just everything happens for you when you can do that, but it's not always easy. Like I'm sorry you lost that deal. That's awful. But
Yeah, like I said, I could be really upset about it, but I knew even when I was taking the listing, he's very type A, almost anal, and I knew as a buyer how difficult he was going to be. And like I'm a mom, I'm dropping my kids here, there, and how demanding I knew he was going to be with his time. I was kind of okay with it.
yeah, agreed.
So
Love it.
it's all good.
Well, the truth is he may not be lost. He could very well come right back around once he realizes that this is an actual practice.
Don't put that in my universe.
He's
That's
back.
awesome. All right, you guys, we have like only a couple of more minutes left, and I do have to get off of here at 4. So does anyone else have anything to add? If not, we'll let Penny close us out here today.
I put my website in the chat, so I would love for y'all to check out my community. I'm gonna launch it to my local area next month, and then I'll launch it to everyone in October, and it'll be significantly discounted for Epic agents. I don't know.
And you guys, if you do not follow Penny on social media, you need to. Penny has built her business off organic stuff. Like she's an amazing with reels. She's amazing with social media, her database, like all of it. She's the real deal. Penny and I started working together back in 2012 when we were both at KW, and I have watched her and how she's done business for years, and she's just phenomenal. And I love her so much. And I follow her, and I'm inspired by you constantly, Penny.
Let me tell you, look at this. Do you see this? Can y'all read it? Is it backwards? This is from Dawn. It says, "I will be your rock." So get you some Dawn in your life.
Well,
Thank you.
and we need each other. Like, I love Power Girls. I love what we're all about, and we're here for you. We continue to serve you, and we serve you. Don't forget, every second Wednesday at 5 o'clock, we do Power Wind Down Wednesdays. I'm trying to remember stuff. Wind Down Wednesdays, and that's a conversation that we have, and it's very open. It's very focused on, we want to hear everybody out. We want to be able to bridge that gap and help you find a way back to this peaceful, happy space that we're all trying to find right now. And so love to see you on that call. And then every right after that, the following Wednesday, like today, I guess this is the third Wednesday, we do our education piece. So we'll have another guest next month in for you to help you with some sort of your business. So stay tuned to the Power Girls, and we appreciate you guys all so much. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Y'all take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Penny. Good job.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
You're welcome.
Let's go sell some houses.